Okay. Hi, everyone, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there on today's special episode of the Quiver Podcast. Because there are a lot of fathers in our group, actually, si Kiko lang. We'd like to greet Kiko. Happy Father's Day. It's just me and Brian tonight, and of course, we have another person in our group who wants to become a father. So, for a limited time, we are opening up a special chat group where you can see our unfiltered views over everything. Bawal mag-screenshot doon. To join, dial 1-800 make Willie a father this Father's Day. So, so
One time only. One time limited offer.
one time only. Oo. And yeah, join at your own risk. Si Willie Willoy ko yung moderator doon eh. So medyo nakakatakot yun eh. Make Willie a father this Father's Day. That's 1-800 make Willie a father this Father's Day. Okay, so just to start off the episode, Brian, we had one game this week against the Gilas Youth, right?
Hmm?
And that was a game we won. We'll try to talk about it a little bit, but maybe we'll start with um, essentially the first three quarters were basically close before we pulled away in the fourth quarter. Um, Again, I think we need to continue to treat this entire Phil Oil experience as a stepping stone, and our players are getting some minutes and stuff like that. But who impressed you the most, Brian, during this game?
Um, tingin ko I'm impressed the most by yung ating new member si Jason Sibol. I still want a video na sasabihin niya yung proper pronunciation so that we're all guided. Parang parang World Cup lang sasabihin nila yung full name nila. Yeah, kasi I think he brings stability that would be useful. I think there are some moments in our previous preseason games where naghahanap ka ng deputy kay Jacob or kung hindi man deputy, that 1A, 1B that we kind of saw with Kian before, and of course dahil umalis na si Kian, diba? Big shoes to fill. And Jason's kind of fitting the profile. So yeah, Phil Oil, it's a good platform launchpad for him to get used to the Philippine style of basketball kasi I think for those uninitiated, naglaro na rin naman siya ng college ball in the US, but the transition isn't always seamless. It could be. We saw some players from there who transition nicely into the Philippine style, but there are also others who fizzle out. So yeah, we don't want to say now if they're successful there or if they play well there, they're gonna play well here and vice versa. Diba? But yeah,
Yeah,
it's good to see how he's adapting to the team. Yun ang
yeah.
nakikita ko talaga.
Actually, to that point, Brian, like, I'm not gonna name this particular player, okay? But we
Mhm.
were talking about our lineups over the last few years, and then we were talking about those players that were coming in from the outside. And again, if you want to join the group chat, we talk about this specific player. It's 1-800 make Willie a father this Father's Day. But no, pero nagulat kami. We're like, ay, oo nga pala, naglaro to sa Lasal, di ba? Remember, we talked about that. There's this one player. We won't mention who it was, but another guy was a one and done. But I think to your point, right? Jason Kibble or Sibol has shined and is doing quite well. And he has a lot of fans in the Quiver team, right? Di ba, Brian? He has a lot of fans in the Quiver team. But
Yes. A lot
yes,
of believers already. Yun na lang. I think
yes,
that's the
yes.
best word.
But baka ma-HR kami ni Brian, and we might not be able to do any more episodes if we talk about this a little bit more. So we will have to skip this portion of this episode. Yeah.
Sa
Okay.
GC na lang. Sa GC na lang.
GC na lang. 1-800 make Willie a father this Father's Day. Okay. Okay. I want to add to that, right? Like, apart from Jason, I also like how over the last few games, LaSalle has been giving getting its entire roster into a certain rhythm, right? Like Makalalag, I think top scored in this game. Mason Amos surprisingly had 10 rebounds. I mean, I say surprisingly because we know he's a great shooter. We know he's a great lockdown defender. And he's great in boxing out. But normally he would defer to like Luis Pablo, maybe Seven Cagate to get those rebounds. But to end up with 10 boards, that's relatively quite impressive. Um, for Mason Amos, right? And this is the guy who hit a game winning tree a few games ago, and now he's he's going back and rebounding quite well, trying to fill in that gap, that big Mike Phillips gap that was opened up. We will talk about Mike Phillips a little bit more. Toy Dumo also had a good game.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
Doy.
yeah, Toy
Really, ano, no?
Dumo.
Parang making a case for that X factor in
Oo,
the roster. He already was, pero parang you can feel it more now eh. Napopromote na siya ba?
oo, yung tipong teka lang Coach Topex, you cannot sit me out in game 3 anymore, ah.
Mhm.
Type of case,
Mga
right?
ganyan.
Like, and obviously, like, it's important. It's good for the confidence of the team. And I think, like, again, going into this entire preseason, the intent more than anything is really to make sure that we are ready for the upcoming season. We don't have to win it. I think the last few times that we've won it, it hasn't gone well for us in the UAP, and ultimately the prize is: do we lift the trophy this December? That's the question that we have. So, I don't want to squeeze too much juice out of this. Like, there's not like there's not too much. But our
Yeah.
next game, yeah, our next game is on July 9 at 5 p.m. at the Phil Oil Center against the UP Fighting Maroons. So that's gonna be a big game. And I think people, I hope the Lasari community gets to watch it. I hope I certainly have the time to watch it, but I don't think we don't have that much weekend games anymore, right? So
Yeah, yun
it's a
nga.
little
And
bit
then
tough.
playoffs, I think. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, so
It's
it's a little bit tough for the fans. But like, I guess to all the Lasallian community, like, would like to remind everyone that we finished last season at 8-6 and won the championship, right? And it's really how you finish versus how you start is the most important portion there. Okay, very quickly, let's go to RP, to the Gilas youth team. First of all, um, special place in my heart of Gilas youth, mostly because Coach Juno is there, and
mhm.
Coach Juno gave us the 2013 championship. Absolutely love him to bits, and he's one of my favorite coaches who has ever graced the LSU. And in fact, whenever I see him on the sidelines of UST, medyo napapa, I would love it. I would love to have him back at some capacity in the program. But I have a lot of respect for him. But more than that, right? We also have three players from Green Hills who are part of that Gilas youth team, and that's Kaloy, Pasinos, and Arsik, right? And Brian, you want to talk more about this LaSalle representation that is not something we're very used to.
Yeah. Usually, diba, we don't have a shortage of youth players who go to LaSalle. But I think what makes this batch unique is that at least they're already LaSalle Green Hills mainstays, if I may say so. So parang they got their roster spots because of what they're doing in high school. Rather than like let's say yung batch nila Norbert or even batch nila
Yeah.
Earl, Mason na parang they eventually joined LaSalle but bursting into the scene, they were not yet with LaSalle. Ito, I guess, lalo na sa'yo, Gio, as a GH alum, maybe there's also that sense of pride. Right?
Yeah.
GH is capable of being represented again at this level. Which, sino pa yung huli? If you, medyo tinatry ko i-recall, but maybe you can recall it better than
No,
I do. So, yun
I
lang naman sa akin.
think
Like,
yeah.
especially now, like, 'di ba, parang may sinasabi yung mga tao about our school, um, pirating or poaching, like, it's normal, but yeah, I don't have qualms with that. Pero it's also nice for us to see that our homegrown talent is getting featured. for what they can do on the
Yeah,
ano, diba? Yeah.
yeah. No, I think that's the good point there, like Brian, right? Like I think
Mm.
we're not saying Lasal Guinness has not sent players to become a part of the RP team of the of the Gilas team. Rather, normally it was only one player. Alam mo yun, like it will be JD Kagulangan, the Riveros. I even recall I think Bolik and Michael Pate at some point were also ended up in the RP youth squad at some point in time, right? But to have three in the squad just shows the program that Coach Renren is building out in Lasal Green Hills. And I think that's something that we should all be very proud of as Lasallians and for the Lasal Green Hills alumni. Also, very important that we continue to support the school because hopefully we can get a lot more of these, build a steady stream of homegrown talents that will have very successful basketball careers. And I think the good thing is, I think these guys have committed to DLSU already, no? Like
Yes.
they're playing out their final year in the NCAA with Green Hills before they transition over to Taft. At least that's what we're hoping, and that's what we're hopeful for. Um, Speaking of Gilas, the other LaSalle related news, of course, is Brian. We have a couple of guys that made the Gilas roster team from the LSU. That was also a little less surprising, but for sure, like Gilas has been dominated by non-Lasallians for a while, and to have more Lasallian representation is also a testament to the program. So, Brian, who made the team?
Of course, Kevin Cabao and then Mike Phillips. These two guys know each other very well. I think safe to say. Played a lot of minutes together. Wearing the green and white. Medyo maninibago lang tayo. They'll wear blue. Kay Kevin, not so much because we kind of see him time and again wear it. But for Mike Phillips, I think the last time, or the only time he wore it was during the Southeast Asian Games when he played for the Philippines. Yung Cambodia edition, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and they won the gold. But he was able to be lined up dahil nga as long as you have a passport noong time na yun. I mean, yun yung rules dun sa edition na yun. Whereas FIBA is stricter. But I think he's now granted local status. Meaning, whenever he plays Gilas, is treated like any other guy. As he should be naman because he has Filipino lineage. And happy for him kasi I think when we see Mike, 'di ba? He really embraces that Filipino side. I think kung
Yeah,
kaya niya mag-Tagalog, hinahabol niya mag-speak in Filipino rather than say it in English. He really does his best, and I also heard of stories of him in the campus really parang getting in touch with the community. So yeah, couldn't be happier for him, and also he deserves it for his contributions, and hopefully he gets to perform well kasi mabibigat yung kalaban natin eh. We'll be up against Australia and New Zealand, both away games. So I think I hope his energy rubs off to the rest of the squad because kita pa lang natin how he plays, like all out, all heart, diba? So it's
yeah,
gonna be useful.
yeah, for sure. And I wanna round it out with Justin Baltazar. Balti. It's the third Lasallian there as well,
Ayaw nga
right?
pala. Yeah,
Yeah.
medyo nakalimutan ko na. Sorry. Sorry kay
Oh,
Balti. Yeah. Baka hindi
Balti's
na ako
that there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ayan. Ako kasi pinalitan niya si Aranya, I think. So the first I think I saw
Yeah, I
wala.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean just to round it off, right? Who are the final 12 for Gilas?
Mm-hmm.
That's so you have the three Lasallians, of course. We have Troy Rosario,
Of
one
NU.
GDL, yeah, Carl Tamayo.
Of UP.
Yeah, no, yeah, man. That guy has that guy gives me a bit of nightmares just from a couple of seasons ago. But I'm glad we're on the same team now, right? Like or Gilas, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Chris Newsome, my guy, Chris. RJ
From FNL.
Brientos, yeah.
FU.
RJ Brientos, Junmar Fajardo,
Yeah.
AJ
From
Edu,
UC.
yeah. Dwight Ramos, and of course, Justin Brownlee, fresh off a
Pwede na
win.
ba natin Pwede na ba natin gawing honorary Lasallian si Dwight Ramos? By affiliation. Never
I
predict rainy
yeah.
game for Ateneo.
Yeah, but yeah. I think Miss Kim Kiana D, like if you can, like I would happy we would be more than happy to make it the fourth Lasallian in this group. Tama ka. He spent a little bit more time with Lasallians. And anyway. Okay. Yeah, so that's the upcoming Gilas lineup, and it's I think it makes us proud as Lasallians to see our fellow Lasallians also go into the big stage and represent the country. That's very important for us. Now, up next is a very, very quiet next few weeks for Lasallians. Mostly because there is no game until July 9. So that's
Well,
like
there
two
is
and a
that.
half weeks.
Yeah, but there is that preseason. I just forgot which weekend. But let's see. Confirm the not which one. But we don't know
The
how to
other
follow
one.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, the other.
yung mga weekend, ano ba yun? Yung pocket tournaments, I think.
Yeah, the
That's what
pocket
I came
tournaments.
across.
Yeah, but the next Phil Oil game is on the ninth.
July.
And yeah. And like I don't know about you, Brian, but like as we approach June's about to end in a few days, right? And once we reach July, alam mo, it's July is 2 months away from the UAAP season. Eh. Like a lot of people kind of forget that, right? And there's this old adage on archerpride.com and in all of those old forums, the old school forums where a lot of the older school fans engage a lot, is like if LaSalle enters the season at 60% and brings it up all the way to like 80 or 90 prior to the final four, we're in good shape. And I think right now that's kind of where we are. And there's a big of I think it's less to about adjusting to the for the players for the new players to come in, but I think it's really about adjusting to Mike leaving. I think losing him and his presence, his leadership, and his rebounding is the one that I'm taking a look at the most this Phil Oil more than anything, right? Like we
Agree.
seem to still we seem to still be winning. Jacob's doing his Jacob things. Mason is becoming a better shooter and a lockdown defender.
Oh,
JC,
it's Babs.
Herb, Doy, Babs, everyone's just stepping up. Eh. But when
Mm,
push comes to shove and we need that guy to score 25 points in game three of the finals, like that's big, right? I don't know if he scored 25, he might have
exactly.
scored 24, right? But
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
seeing. That's what I'm seeing with Lasal. Brian, um, prognosis half year prognosis for the Green Archers so far as we try to extend
Uh,
this podcast to at least 20 minutes para hindi naman
eh,
nakakahiya, di ba?
ano, tawag dito. Sayang wala yung bote ko ng Summit eh. Hydration break sana. I've been watching too much World Cup. Uh, hydration break. Anyway, more serious answer. I think we're in type of situation where 50-50 tayo approaching games na tipong we know we can win but we also can get beaten. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
We're close to that 8-6 record if let's say the season plays out. Na we we don't enter games as confident as we did 10 years ago. Remember that glorious season where we only lost one game? Parang ano pa tayo nun, gobsmack pa tayo, natalo tayo dun eh. But after parang tinawanan na lang, talo tayo. I don't think it's gonna be like that this season. Especially last season, di ba? Parang the competition is getting tighter. And at the same time, yun nga, everyone will step it up whenever they face Lasal or UP. Kasi I think for the remaining teams in the league, the objective is to crack into that final spot that Lasal and UP have made for the past 3 years natin and for UP even longer. Diba? So you want to have that opportunity to play the final 2 to 3 games of the season for them. And sa atin, ang objective naman is to stay there, and for us to stay, we have to really look at it long term. We can't make decisions that we have to exhaust everything now and then pagdating sa competition proper, we may have been exposed already to a point na we can't bring something new to the table. I don't see that ito na yung ilalaro din naman natin sa UAP, what we're seeing in games. Parang when people are
Yeah.
panicking, why we're losing leads or why we're not winning as convincing. Parang sa akin, yeah, as long as they know the purpose of what they're doing on the court, even if we don't know that or even if it doesn't look obvious, I'm okay. And I will say my assessment to finish it off. Parang, yung sinabi ni Coach Jello when he guested on the show, diba? Parang, trust that tip. So, whenever may dip ng konti with performances, be it in the games or even in a spread of games, like let's say tatlong magandang games but the second one is parang erratic. I think you just have to trust that because it's all part of the big picture. Like Gio, both of us run. You can't run false negative, false flat, tawag dito. Can't run false negative splits all the time. Alam mo yun, there will be
Yeah.
ebbing, flowing. And you just have to be strong when you're strong. And when you're weak, you just have to hang on. You just have to make sure that give yourself a chance to get to the finish line the strongest way
Yeah.
possible. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
that's how we will end it.
I want to do a quick shout out though to Coach Jello who has recovered from his I think he had a heart attack or heart or stroke. I was something to that extent. I'm gonna discreetly check my Instagram right now what exactly happened to him. But we are so glad. Well, first of all, the team didn't know that he was going through that. I'm sorry, the Quiver podcast team did not know that he was going through that, and we wish him all the best. And we're so happy that he's back with the team already, and he's fully recovered from his heart attack. So yeah, it was a heart attack. So guys, watch your health. Watch your health, and get yourself checked by the doctors if you can. And we're so happy that Coach Jello's back. All right.
That is well.
Um, Oo, oo, health is wealth. All right, so I think that's it for this episode of the Quiver Podcast. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our pages, and one last time, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
join our private group chat with Willie, it's 1-800 make Willie a father this Father's Day. But more than that, this episode to you is brought to you by Ibarra Watches. The green Trofeo Ibarra watch is available at the DLSA office, and every purchase it goes to your contributions for future green and lady archers. And it's such a wonderful timepiece, and we're proud to have them as our sponsors and our partners here at the Quiver Podcast. That being said, I think that's about it. Brian, is there anything else we need to add?
Wala na. I think everyone enjoyed their Father's Day, hopefully. Because this will be out the day after if you're listening
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
Monday or soon. So yeah, yun lang. And hopefully, guys, if you have suggestions or on what or kung may gusto kayong i-guest from previous or current team, just let us know in the comments. We'll do our best. Not gonna say we're gonna push through. We'll do what we can. If you have
Yeah,
ideas, especially if season pa, diba? Like, let's see what we can do. Yun lang.
yeah, and if we don't have any ideas of what to talk about, um, our next few episodes might be dedicated to the World Cup. Okay.
Yes. Ganyan lang. Gaganito lang kami ni Gio. Gets nyo na
Uh,
yun kung United fan kayo or Brazil fan.
oh, baka God save the king ako na di oras, di ba? Anyway. Oh. All right. That's about it for this episode. Lapit na July, guys. It's just a few more months, UAP season again, and we're very excited for that. But of course, we have the World Cup. And of course, congratulations to the New York Knicks for
Oh,
winning
yes.
the
Yeah.
NBA championship. Yeah, Knicks in five. Um, as a New Yorker as a guy who
NYU.
studied in NYU, pretty happy about that. But of course, Jordan Clarkson is a Filipino, first Filipino to win a NBA championship. Okay, I think we've done our best, Brian, to extend this to like 25 minutes. Thank you for listening to us, Bamble. Maybe we can have a couple of our fans in one of our episodes soon, no? Just chat
Yeah.
about anything.
Just
Yeah, let's see what
let
we
us
can do.
know.
Yeah, so bug us, and hopefully we can set something up. All right.
Sa
Thank you. Thank you. Animo
less
Lasal.